Good afternoon, everyone. It's Mr. Nkosi again. I'll be taking you for Maths grade 10. My email address is nkosihector28@gmail.com. We are still doing the consolidated questions, of which that is term 1 revision. Guys, I've noted your comments and I wanted to recap from yesterday. So there are certain things that you were not sure of, and I sort of made like workings for you guys, like proper workings, so that you can follow what was happening. But before I can start with today's lesson, I would like to check the comments on the chat box. I would like to welcome everyone who's joining us today. I can see Arthur, I can see Nelly, I can see Sandra. Miss P is asking, when are we doing trigonometry? Trigonometry, actually, it's terms 2 work. We are still recapping terms 1 work, right? I can see Talita, Leonhard, hello. Who else? Okay, so far those people. Let me scroll down again. Okay, cool. Glenn. Yes, Glenn Patience, I can see you. Okay, cool. Oh, that's perfect. Sean, I can see you. Okay, that's perfect, guys. Okay, I would like to recap from tomorrow's. Yes, we are in term 2, but remember now, this is just a recap of what you have done in class. Because someone is asking, aren't we in term 2? Yes, we are in term 2, but remember, we have to recap with your terms 1 work first. You have to be able to understand your term 1's work. Then we'll start with the terms 2 work. But I should be done by tomorrow. It's just that for this 3 days, of which is yesterday, today, and tomorrow, I want to recap with terms 1's work using past paper exam question papers. Then next week, I'll start with trig so that I can teach you trig step by step, trigonometry. Okay. Okay. Perfect. It seems like you're in the same page with everyone. Okay, that's perfect. Exactly. Zelna, you are correct. There may be learners who don't understand terms 1 work. That's correct. Perfect. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your cooperation. Yes. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, just a second. Just want to get the next slide. Perfect. Okay. So yesterday, guys, we looked at these learning outcomes. We looked at factorization. We looked at algebraic expression. We looked at exponents. Now, guys, I want to emphasize this. You cannot, these are the fundamentals. These are the fundamentals that you need to know for your math, right? And these, they apply in both paper 1 and paper 2. Remember, at the end of the year or June exam, you'll write 2 papers. So if you're a maths learner, you're supposed to write 2 maths papers, both paper 1 and paper 2. So now you need to know how to factorize. You need to know how to do algebra, and you also need to understand exponents. Why, guys, are we emphasizing these? Because they're going to help you when you're doing your functions, of which those are your graphs. They are also going to help you when you start your trigonometry in term 2. They are going to help you in many topics for maths. So yesterday I had few questions of which I want to recap those questions, right? Yesterday we looked at this question. We looked at DBE November 2018, but we just looked at question 1. I had a question from 1.1, right? Of which I want to recap this when it comes to factorization, right? I want to recap with you. So what I did, I made sort of like workings using step-by-step method so that I can project it so that you can see how are you going to work out these sums. Then after this, we're going to look at this thing because now this was the recap from yesterday. We're going to look at this because these are more complex questions. Okay, I'll have to stop sharing so that I can take my so that I can take my so that I can take my workings. Okay. Okay, cool. Now I have my workings with me. So we are ready to begin with today's work. Okay, just a second. This thing, it's busy moving. Okay, okay. This should be perfect. I hope everyone can see. Okay, right. This was from yesterday, but I've decided to do workings for you guys. So this was a factorize question, right? So you were given 4x minus x cubed, right? Guys, when you factorize, you must look what is common between the two terms. Remember, terms are differentiated by a minus or a plus. So in this case, you've got two terms. You've got 4x minus x cubed. Does it make sense? Now, what is common between these two terms? It's x. You must open your bracket because only x is common. There's only one x here, but here there are three x's. So what is common? It's x. So you must open your bracket, put your 4 minus x squared, which means now you say, what variable can I put here in order when I multiply it with this x, it can give me x cubed. It's x squared. Correct. Then you must keep your x again, open the bracket. Here you have what? You have difference of two squares. You should know difference of two squares by now. Difference of two squares meaning that you must expand your brackets in two. So you must have 2 plus x, close brackets, open bracket, 2 minus x. Then you have factorized fully. I hope it makes sense. Now, before I move to 1.1.2, I just want to check the comments. Let me see. Okay, Tato says, can't hear anything. Okay. Join the audio, Tato. Okay, guys, I can I can organize past papers for you. Then what you need to do, you're just going to, I can sort of like create a Google link, Google Classroom. Then I can share the what you call the code with you. Then you can access the past papers. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I can see Kalam. Okay. That's perfect. Letabo. Sandra. Okay. Nyandeni. Okay. That's perfect. Cool. Tato Hasi. Okay. I hope now you are sorted, Tato, with your audio. Okay. That's perfect. Okay. Let me look at Boka. Hello. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Now, let's look at 1.1.2. 1.1.2, guys, they love this question. They love it so much. Now, here it's when you are factorizing a trinomial. A binomial, right? So you've got x squared plus 15x minus 54. This is the same as a squared plus bx plus c, right? But we're still going to cover that. Now, it says here, factorize fully. Now, I love this method. So you're always going to look at your constant. Your constant is 54. So you must write all the factors or multiples of 54. You must list them. It's 6 times 9 gives you 54. 18 times 3, it gives you 54. 27 times 2, it also gives you 54. 1 times 54, it's also 54. Then you look at your middle term. Your middle term is 15. Does it make sense, boys and girls? Your middle term is plus 15. So with these factors that you have listed, you must choose the ones that when you add or subtract them, they must give you 15. Obviously, guys, 1 plus 54 or minus 54 won't give us 15. So no wonder I put the cross, it won't work. 27 plus 2, that's 29. 27 minus 2, that's 25. So it won't give us 15. So this is also out. 18 plus 3, it gives us 21. 18 minus 3, it gives us 15. Yes, this might work. No wonder I put the tick. 6 plus 9, that's 15. This can work. Does it make sense? So 1, 2, they can work so far, right? However, you need to look the sign of your middle term. It's plus 15x. So now, what I'm going to do now is you have to say, okay, now you must draw your cross like this and choose and put x there and x there because this, it's your first term. Does it make sense? This is where you've got your x. So it's x and x. So this is your x squared. This represents your x squared basically. But between these two, which factors are you going to take? It's tricky, right? You must look at your middle term. Your middle term, it's positive. So if your middle term is positive, we call this method a try and error method. So you can start with this one, 6 and 9. You can say x multiplied by 9, right? It's 9x minus 6. It's negative minus 6. We get 3x. Therefore, we're not getting plus 15x. So can you see 6 and 9 won't work? Let's try 18 and 3. When you say x multiplied by 18, right? Remember the bigger number must take the sign of the middle term. What is the bigger number? The bigger number is 18. So 18, definitely sure it must take the sign of the middle term. The sign of the middle term is a positive. Does it make sense? So now you're going to say x multiplied by 18, that's 18x, minus 3x. You'll get plus 15x. Therefore, no wonder we chose 18 and 3. 18 and 3, it will work. Then you just put your brackets there. Sorry. You put your brackets there. You put your brackets there. You also put your brackets there and there. Then you take your answer as it is. This is your answer. Open bracket. X minus 3, close bracket. Open bracket again. X plus 18. Here you have factorized fully. Now, guys, there are so many methods to factorize sums like this. It's up to you which one you want to use, but I still prefer this one. You know, it's up to you. I mean, I'm sure at school you're using a different one or something, you know. It's up to you as long as you're going to arrive at the same answer. Okay, let me read comments. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Sorry, Lionheart. Sandra, what is the largest crossover for? It's just for multiplication. Okay. It's the method. Yes, Miss P. Oh, okay, I understand, Sandra. Okay, Nelly. It makes work easier, I think. Yes, that's perfect. Yes. Is there a method that takes the shortest amount of time? Yes. Is there a method that takes? Yes, there are other methods. There are other methods, guys. I think this yes. Miss P, I think so too. This takes less time. I prefer this one because, guys, remember, we can do one thing the whole day. So that's why I try by all means to sort of give you things that are more simpler and easy to understand. Okay, let me hear. Okay, Miss P says, I think this takes less time than the other one. Yeah, it's better. Okay, that's perfect, guys. We are good to go. Now, let's move to this one. Yeah, this one, it was a problem yesterday. Lots of people, let me just increase the size of the screen. Majority of the people did not get this one correct yesterday. They were asking questions. This is factorization by grouping, if I can put it like that. Okay, just a second. Yeah, with this one, majority of you guys did not get it. So I want to do it with you step by step. Now, okay, let's breathe in, guys. Now, you were given y minus xy plus x minus 1. Now, guys, this is very tricky. It's not tricky as such, but once you know it, you know it. Does it make sense? So this is factorization by grouping. So basically, you have to group these terms. So what is common? So you need to look at how many terms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, there are 4 terms, right? Remember terms, guys, they are being differentiated by a plus or a minus. So there are 4 terms here, right? So now, y and y, we have it here. And here, what is common? We've got 1 and 1. Does it make sense? Because remember, there's always an invisible 1 here before x. So let's start to factorize the first one. No wonder I've circled this plus with a red pen. So now, what is common here? Sorry. Okay. What is common here? Y is common, right? Therefore, you must factor y out. Then you must put your 1 minus x and you close your bracket, right? Because when you say y times 1 must give you y, when you say y times x must give you xy. So we have dealt with a first group. Now, the problem came here, guys. Majority of you were asking, why is it minus 1 here since we have a plus here? Now, let me take you through, guys. Remember when you are factorizing by grouping, both of your brackets must be the same. And in order for your brackets to be the same, which means some of the signs will also change. Remember here you are given x minus y, my x minus 1. So we say the common factor here is 1. Are you with me? So you must put your 1 here. But how are you going to make it to be the same as 1 minus x? So you must factor out negative 1. Because when you multiply negative 1 by 1, you must get negative 1. When you multiply -1 by -x, you must get plus x, guys. No wonder here it's -1. Because the brackets must be the same. I hope I'm answering your questions, guys, because most of you ask me, but say we don't get this one. Why is -1 instead of +1? You know. Then now, since your brackets are the same, 1 minus x, 1 minus x, it's easy. So you take y minus 1, you put it in brackets, and you've got this one, 1 minus x. Then these are the factors you have factorized fully. I hope I have answered your questions. Yes, yes, I can see. Angel Mdlalose, that's why I don't understand yesterday, because I forgot about the one next to the X. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Angel, I'm glad that you are getting it now. Miss P, yes, yes. I can tell that most of you guys can recall what is happening here. Perfect, Talita, Sandra. Yes, yes, yes. That's perfect. Okay. Nelly, yes, that's perfect, Nelly. Yes, Lionheart. Wow, you guys are awesome. Okay, that's perfect. Now, let's look at yesterday's homework. Okay, cool. I need to stop sharing here so that I can go back to the slides. Then reshare again. Okay. Okay, guys. This is what we are looking today. So these guys will take us less than let's say less than 20 minutes or 30 minutes to do this, you know, because I mean this is just a recap from yesterday, but I wanted to recap with you. So can you see the importance of doing lots and lots of sum, guys? Guys, for maths, you can't just do one sum and expect to be okay. You have to do lots and lots of sum. You have to practice every day, guys, you know. You have to do lots and lots of sum from your textbook, from worksheets that were given at school, from past papers, from study guides. That's the only way you're going to understand math, right? Now, let's try this one now. 1.2, it says factorize the following expressions fully, right, guys? The examiner here is very lenient with you guys because you are still in grade 10. You are still in grade 10. They are telling you that you must factorize fully, right? So up until the end, right? Up until you don't have factors anymore. That's what it means to factorize fully. So I need to stop sharing and go back to my workings again, okay? I need to share the screen. Share. Okay, cool. Oh, perfect. Now, let's look at this one, boys and girls. Okay, cool. Just a second. Okay. Now, this one now says to you t squared, open bracket, r minus s, close bracket, minus r plus s. Now, this is the same as factorization by grouping, but this one is much more easier. Can you see, guys? This one is much more easier. Here you must also group, because now majority of you maybe we're going to freak out that, okay, what's going to happen here? How must I factorize t squared r minus s? Where do I start, right? You must group, guys. You must group, right? So you must always inspect the expression that is given first. Look at it first, then after looking at it, you can tell whether this is factorization by grouping or this is factorization of a binomial or a trinomial. Guys, it comes from a practice. Yes, I can see some of you are already shouting the answers. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, cool. Now, you must write your t squared, open the bracket, r minus s, you must close the bracket. Now, what is common? You know, the factorization by grouping, the tricky part about it most of the time is to factor out this -1 or this one. Because what is common between r and s? It's 1, guys. We always have invisible 1 here. You always have invisible 1 here before S and before R. So you must factor out -1. Why do you factor out -1? Because you want to have R minus S so that it can be the same as this one as R minus S. So when you say -1, so you must say -1, then you know that R is negative. So you must just put R as it is. Does it make sense? Then, however your S, it can be your plus S because you're trying to make this the same as that. So you have to say -s because when you say -1 multiplied by -s, it's plus s, guys. Remember, a negative times a negative, it's a plus s, right? Therefore, you will take what now that your brackets are the same, r minus s, you've got that. Then you will take your t squared minus 1, you're going to have it, right? However, this one now, it was much more trickier because yes, this is the answer, but you haven't factorized fully yet. The examiner said factorize fully. Now you must look. Oh, yes, I can see now the difference of 2 squares. Therefore, you must expand because now difference of 2 squares, which means you must expand and have 2 brackets again. Remember, how do we see a difference of 2 squares? You must have t squared minus. But if it was a plus here, therefore, this was not going to be a difference of 2 squares. Remember, guys, when you started with maths in grade 4, in grade 7, in grade what you call primary, remember you used to call a minus a difference. So wherever you see something that has 2 squares, right? And there's a difference here, therefore that will be regarded as a difference of 2 squares. So here, if it was 4 also, it was going to be a difference of 2 squares. So this number must have a square root, basically. That's how you're going to see a difference of 2 squares. But if it was t squared minus 3, that's not a difference of 2 squared. Does it make sense, boys and girls? So now, but square root of 1, we know that is 1, basically. Does it make sense? I mean, yeah, plus or minus 1, yes. Then now you're going to have r minus s, close bracket. Then you must expand these difference of 2 squares. You must understand, guys, what is a difference of 2 squares, right? So it's t plus 1, close bracket, open bracket, t minus 1. Perfect. Can you see? That's why we had to practice a lot. Let me go check the comments before I move to the next one. Aha, you guys are so brilliant. You guys are so brilliant. Yes, 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 yes. I'm glad that everyone can follow. Wow, wow, wow. I can see Semenya. Hello, Semenya. Yes. Okay, cool. That's perfect. That's perfect. Yes, Tyler. Yes, Tyler Kush. Difference between 2 squares is equals to, yes, that's correct. Yes, I love that. Yes, Tato, you can ask a question. Yes, okay. You can ask a question, Tato. I'll have to look at it in the next 5 minutes. Let's do the next one. Then I'll come back to you. Okay, cool. Right. This one now, it says to you, x cubed plus 1 over x squared minus x plus 1. Now here you also have to factorize, guys. Now this one you might not, okay, yesterday we did factorization, but we didn't do something that is similar to this, right? So basically this is easy, guys, very easy. Remember your x cubed plus 1, it can be written as open bracket x plus 1, close your bracket, open another bracket, x squared minus x plus 1. And if you want to make sure that this is correct as that, you can always multiply throughout and check whether it's correct. Because when you say x times x squared, you get x cubed. When you say x times negative x, you get x squared. When you say x multiplied by 1, you get x. And when you say 1 multiplied by x squared, what do you get? You get plus x squared. When you say 1 multiplied by negative x, you'll get negative x. When you say 1 times 1, you'll get 1. So all of these will cancel each other. Plus x will cancel with minus x. Negative x squared will cancel with plus x squared. Therefore, you'll be left with x cubed plus 1. No wonder x cubed plus 1 can be written as x plus 1 close bracket, open bracket, x squared minus x plus 1. And yes, guys, we see something that is common between our numerator and our denominator. Therefore, it can cancel each other. Your x squared minus x plus 1. Then you'll be left with x plus 1. And this is your answer. That's perfect. Let me check at the comments and see whether everyone is following. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, cool. Miss P is she's understanding now. Oli, hello. Okay, Angel. Okay, Mlalo said they can understand now. Let me go up. I saw a question. Okay, Tato Hatsi say, how do we calculate the difference between two brackets if it had a plus? Okay, I don't think I get your question, Tato. Do you have sort of like, write a sum for me so that I can see what you're talking about? You know, then I will take it from there, because your question, it is relevant, but I don't know what you're talking about, you know, because there are so many sums. So just write a sum so that I can see what you're talking about. Okay, it seems like everyone is understanding. Wow, guys, you are so brilliant. Lunati Zonke, hello. Yes, Nelly, yes, Letabo. Okay, yes, Sandra. Okay. Okay. Noted, Miss P. Okay, I'll keep on putting more and more of these difficult sums. That's why we're doing past papers. Yes. Okay, Talita, yes, Karabo. Okay, Tato. Oh, sorry, I meant to say the difference between two squares if it had just a plus. Guys, a difference of two squares, guys. Difference means minus, guys. So if you want, the other name for minus, basically, it's difference. I hope I make sense. Okay. Yo, guys, you are so brilliant. You are so brilliant. I'm glad that everyone is understanding. Let's look at another question. I have to stop sharing so that I can go back to my slides. Okay. Okay, now we have to simplify. We have to simplify 1.3.1. We have to simplify 1.3.2. We also have to simplify 1.3.3. Okay, guys. So let me go back. Let me stop sharing and go back to my workings. Okay, I'm back to my workings. Now, okay, guys, now here we are simplifying. So now here you are multiplying a binomial with a trinomial, guys. They love this question, right? You need to be able how to do this. So you need to say 2y multiplied by 7y squared, 2y multiplied by negative 6y, 2y multiplied by 8 minus 8. Then same applies. Then 2y multiplied by 7y squared is 14y cubed, right? Because 2 times 7, it's 14y cubed, right? Then 2y multiplied by negative 6y, it's negative 12y squared. Then 2y multiplied by negative 8, it's actually negative 16y. Then 3 multiplied by 7y squared, you'll get 21y squared. Then 3 multiplied by negative 6y, you'll get negative 18y. Then 3 multiplied by negative 8, you'll get negative 24. So now you have cleared all your brackets now. However, now you have to group. What I like to say to my students, we say we must group apple with an apple, banana with a banana, peach with a peach. Does it make sense? So now, normally what I do, I use different symbols to group so that it does not confuse me, because they can give you something that is very long. So in an exam or in a class test, you can always try to use different symbols. So all the squared, the cubes, I will denote them by a hash. All the squared, I'll denote them by a dot. As you see, negative 12y squared has a dot, plus 21y squared has a dot. All the y's, I'll denote them with a star. As you see, all the constants, the numbers, I'll denote them with a box, a small box. Then now, can you see how clear it is? Now it's easier for you to follow what is happening. To get my point? Now you can group. This will stay the same because it's just on its own. But this will go with that one. So it will be negative 12y squared plus 21y squared. Does it make sense? Then negative 16y will go with negative 18y. Can you see here? Then this is alone also negative 24. Then this will stay the same because you didn't group with anything. Then now negative 12y squared plus 21y squared. Remember, you must always take the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number is 21. It's plus, then you subtract 12 from 21. It's 9y squared. Hala, perfect. Then you look at this one now. Here, both the signs are the same. You take the same sign, you put it, then you add both numbers, 16 and 18, 34y. Then this will remain as 24. Then these are unlike terms. You can't add this and that. You can also can't add this and that. So your answer will stop here because these are unlike terms. Okay, let's look at this one. We looked at something similar to this yesterday, but before that, let me just check at the chat box and see how are my kids behaving. Okay, let me scroll my cursor up so that I can see. Okay. Euclidean geometry, guys, we can only do it once we start with terms to work, guys. That's what I said. It's part of the terms to work. And you need to understand terms once work before you start with Euclidean geometry. Okay. Yes, okay. Seems like everyone. Yes, you must add your like terms. Yes, Tyler. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Okay, that's perfect, guys. I can see other chats. Just want to check something. Just want to check something. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, that's perfect, guys. Okay, cool. All right, I can see other chats. No, I haven't started with 1.3.2, Tato. I'm still going to get it. Okay, I understand that you always get it wrong. It's the one for LCD, but I'm about to start it now. Okay, cool. Let's look at this one. Here's this common one. And this one, it's because it has fractions. No wonder majority of you, you get confused and stuff. So you are given 3 over x squared minus 9. You are also given plus 2x minus 3 all squared, right? Now, we know that this is a difference of 2 squares. So this can be written as 3 over x plus 9 open bracket x minus 3, right? I mean x plus 3, open bracket x minus 3. So this is, you've just simplified what a difference of 2 squares. Then this can stay as it is, or you can expand it, but I'll prefer you to keep it as it is. Then now you must be able to tell your LCD, your lowest common denominator. What is the lowest common denominator now? Because you can't add this and that, because this is not the same as that. This denominator is not the same as that denominator. Does it make sense, boys and girls? So now, your lowest common denominator now, do you agree with me that it's going to be your x minus 3 all squared, open bracket x plus 3. Why? Because you can't put your x minus 3 here again, because already it's there. Does it make sense, guys? So this is your LCD. Does it make sense, boys and girls? That's your lowest common denominator. Then what you need to do, you must multiply each term with your LCD. So this is your LCD. You must take it as it is and multiply it with term 1. This is your LCD. You must multiply it with your term 2. So when you multiply your LCD, this will go, x plus 3 will go, x plus 3 will go. X minus 3 squared and x minus 3 will go. But remember, there are 2 of x minus 3, so 1 will remain. No wonder there's 1 on top that is invisible to show you. Does it make sense? Then we're going to the next term. X minus 3 all squared will go, x minus 3 all squared, it will go. So you will be left with x plus 3 and 2. Here you will be left with x minus 3 and 3. So no wonder here I've written x minus 3, close bracket, you have got 3, plus the second term, 2, of which is this 2, x plus 3, the one that I did not cancel. Then you must put your LCD now, guys, your lowest common denominator. The one that you've written here, the one that you have identified, it must be your denominator. Then you must remove brackets from your numerator by saying x multiplied by 3, that's 3x, x multiplied, negative 3 multiplied by 3, it's negative 9, right? Then you say plus 2 multiplied by x, you'll get 2x. And you'll say also 2 times 3, you'll get 6, right? Then you must group your like terms. You're going to have your 3x plus 2x because you've got x and x, then negative 9 and 6, right? Therefore, your answer will be 5x, of which is 3x plus 2x is 5x, minus 9 plus 6. You always take the sign of the bigger number. What is the bigger number? It's 9, so it's negative. Then you're going to say 6 minus 9 minus 6, you'll get 3. So no wonder it's 5x minus 3, with your LCD, your denominator. I hope it makes sense. Let me check the comments before we do the last one for the day. Okay, I understand 1.22. Can you please, okay, LCD. Okay, cool. Okay, okay. Okay, for this one, do we need to find LCD? Yes, that's the one. Okay, Lunati, you understand. Perfect, guys. Tyler is still understanding now. Okay, Tato is also understanding now. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for your cooperation. Okay, Miss P still does not understand. Okay, I will have to revisit it again, but I won't do the very same thing. We'll do a different one tomorrow. Then you understand it more, right? Let's do the last one, guys, because we are left with 3 minutes, right? So this one, it's exponents, guys. Remember, it's 3 to the power of t minus 3 t to the power, minus 3 to the power t negative 2, and 2 times 3 to the power t minus 3 to the power t. Okay, so now what you need to do here, you must factorize first. Can you see now, guys, the integration here? If you don't understand your factorization, you won't be able to simplify anything, guys, in math. Your factorization is the most core fundamental things, guys. So what is common between these two terms? It's 3 to the power of t, right? Because now when you take 3 to the power of t out, you must remain with 1 here, right? Then negative. Here now, guys, you must have what? 3 to the power negative 2. Why? Because when multiplying the same bases, you add the exponent. So when you say t, so when you add the exponents, it's going to be t plus minus 2. It's the same as t minus 2. I hope it makes sense. Then here you must also factorize. What is common here? 3 to the power of t is also common. Then, because here this dot means multiplication, so what you need to do, you need to put your 2 here because already you've taken your 3 to the power t out, right? Then when you say 2 times 3 to the power of t, you must get 2, 3t. When you say 3t times 1, you must get 3t minus 3t. Then 3 to the power of t will cancel 3 to the power of t. Then you'll be left with 1 minus 3 to the power 2 over 2 over 1. 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. And we know that 3 to the power of negative 2 is the same as 1 over 9, guys. I hope it makes sense. Because your power is negative, right? Remember, if your power is negative, it's always 1 over the answer. It can be 5 to the power negative something. It's always 1 with over that answer. Then we know that, okay, this one actually does not do any justice. So this can be written as 1 minus 1 over 9. And we know that 1 minus 1 over 9 can be written as 8 over 9. Thank you so much, guys, for today. And this is what, okay, before, let me check. Yes, Tyler. Yes. Everyone is getting it now. Okay, cool. Yes. Okay, cool. Yes, Talita, perfect, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for your cooperation. Thanks for listening to me. Remember, guys, it's always, always, always about practicing. Maths, you have to practice every day. Without practicing, guys, unfortunately, it's not going to do any justice. Remember, Rome was not built in one day. So it takes time, guys. It takes time, right? So please, 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 guys, make sure that you do as much as you can. And the more you practice, it's the more maths it's going to make sense, right? I'm going to bring more of these guys tomorrow. I'm going to bring more complex, I'm going to bring more complex scenarios so that it can challenge you, you know. But thank you so much for your time, guys. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow afternoon.